All right, take two.
This is my moonshine rhyme. You know I'm staying drunk most all of the time. I say goodbye to the world, then I guzzle again. Kick back, relax, drinking with my friends. This is my moonshine rhyme. You know I'm staying drunk most all of the time. I say goodbye to the world, then I guzzle again. Kick back, relax, drinking with my friends. Hey, here's a seat, sit down and have a
Alrighty, that is correct. This is the Blitz Morning Show. My name is Toby Brendel, and I will be with you for the next little while. Sadly, this is take two. And if you know me, I like doing that once in a while. It's kind of like a twofer. Alright. So you come here every single Monday to check out Question Call. Basically, people write in, they tweet me, they message me, everything like that. Questions, and I answer them right here on the Blitz Morning Show. And the Question Call has been brought to you by QC Indie. Go check them out at qcindy.com or stream them on the TuneIn app. All right, let's get the party started, senor.
Hey Toby, it's Kim from QC Indie. Question call time. Let's do this. First question. What's your least favorite color and why?
All right. The first time when I tried doing this, I went on like a 5-minute humming and hawing rant trying to figure out what my least favorite color was and the reason why. The answer that I did eventually come up with was the color brown. What is so special about brown and why do I not like it? Well, the color brown, it's one of those colors that it somewhat doesn't go with a lot of colors. It's kind of blah, it's depressing. And it reminds me of 1960 and 1970s wood paneling on walls. So there's really not much flavor to it. It's kind of like getting a brown shade of vanilla ice cream. You're thinking it's going to be chocolate. When you bite into it, it's not what you expect. And also, me personally, I do not know why I do not like it. It's just one of those things where I just look at it and there's no rhyme or reason why I don't like it. Before you go and say anything, there's tons of things out there that you don't like just because. And that's how I am with the color brown. It's just one of those things where I could absolutely care less about it. All right, number 2.
What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
Oh, conspiracy theories. The conspiracy theories, they can extend for so far, so long, so many. And my favorite one, one of the favorite conspiracy theories has to deal with cartoons. I know you have JFK, then you have 9/11. What else? You have Area 51. But if you go and take a look at Pixar/Disney, the amount of conspiracy theories that are coming out with those little guys are actually really, really interesting and is worth taking time to look up. Because you have the Disney's princesses, like, for example, Frozen with Rapunzel. Then you have other things like Incredibles going into monsters. And it's interesting knowing people are willing to take time and effort to build these conspiracies to make them seem legit. Websites, stories, backgrounds. And it's interesting to actually see. But then you can go into other things like cars. The conspiracy theories for those ones are even more interesting because of the creativity that the person who's telling about is producing. Like, for example, cars. Why do these living, I wouldn't say breathing, but living, moving, interacting vehicles have car door handles? Another thing is, how did they get there? Was there ever people? It's just little things like that that makes it really, really interesting. Even how do some of these buildings get built? Were they there before? What year does it take place? Things that make you go, Because, you know, before I read some of these conspiracy theories, I never thought much about it. But now it's like, they make you think. Incredibles too, or Incredibles. You have the mom who has kind of like a darker colored hair. You have the dad who's blonde. You have Dash who's blonde. Jack, I'm not sure what color his hair is, but then you have Violet with black hair. Does she dye it? Is she an offspring of Elastigirl and somebody else? Questions. It just makes you think and go deeper into something. Conspiracy theories. What's yours?
What's a movie everyone hates that you love?
Oh, there's a lot of dumb movies that I like that people hate. Like, when I mean a lot, I absolutely mean a lot. Because I'm one of those people that A-list movies, yeah, whatever. They don't not do too well, but they're not exciting for me. For example, one of my favorite movies of all times is How High, Friday After Next, right? How High, kind of stoner, dumb. Friday After Next, kind of the same thing, but it's more dumb than a stoner movie. Night at the Roxbury, love it. Road Trip Beer Pong, one of the most dumbest stories, very racist type of deal, but I like it. Session 9. There's a lot of people who didn't care for that particular movie just because it was slow going, not much to it. It was a very cheap budgeted movie. I liked it. It took me like 11 times before I actually understood what the movie was about. But it's true. It was a very good movie. Lame. I know. I should be asking some of you guys questions. Then I'll have them read on here.
What's the best and worst thing about living in Weyburn?
Hometown. All right. Just in case some of you don't know where I live in a small community about an hour south of Regina, Saskatchewan, in a town called Weyburn. All right. It has a population of 11,000, and if you follow the geodynamic geography, we have Regina, capital of Saskatchewan, an hour north. You have another community an hour south called Estevan, and that's where I work. It's about maybe 12, 13,000. You have Assiniboia, which is about an hour and a half west. You have Carlisle, which is about an hour east. All right. Don't worry, I'm going to get to it. And the reason why I don't like living in Weyburn is there's so many people that will say shop local. They will promote shop local. They work in locally owned businesses, but yet they will go to Regina or even Estevan to go shop. Heck, I've seen people in Carlisle who's probably less than half the size of Weyburn shopping over there. Anytime that there's a business that opens up in Weyburn, they're more likely to close down within a year. You just don't have the love and the dedication of things like that. There's even times where people will bitch and bitch and bitch. We get it. They'll use it. They'll forget it. They'll close and leave. Then they'll bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch that they closed. There's other great things about Weyburn that I do love. The size of it, it's nice and green. The city does care about itself. It's quiet, not a lot of if you were with me at the start of the year, you'll know this is somewhat true, but not a lot of crime. I'll just leave it at that part. Oh, crap. Oh, well. No commercial today, guys. We have one more question. Then I do have a few other things I would like to mention before we end up with the show.
And finally, a feel-good question for you. When have you been most proud of your kids?
The best time that I feel good about my kids is any time that we went to Walmart. We'd give them, like, say, 25 cents, 10 cents, whatever. And there's this big bin that you can put money in, goes around in circles, things like that. To us, it's donating money to a good cause of the Children's Hospital. But to the kids, it's just watching money go down the tube. Like, literally, down the tube. That's what it is. And what really gets me is the kids, no matter what, anytime they see that, they want to donate. Well, to them, it's fun. Once they get a little bit older, I'm pretty sure they'll donate a little bit more money when they can with what they have. Otherwise, another part that I'm very proud of with them is when they watch out for each other. If something happens, like somebody falls, they're there to help them pick up. If they need something, one of the other siblings steps up, helps them out, gets it when they needed it. And I think that's what we all should do. If somebody falls, we go, we pick them up, we brush them off, help them across the finish line. If somebody is in need, you do it. I think that's what society really needs, is for us to revamp ourselves. Look at us, look at our neighbors, and be like, I'm going to be friends with them. I'm going to help them out. Well, I think I'm done. I'm going to save these 2 little points for Friday, since you could tell last week it did not turn out very well. Had topics, bypassed them, then when the time did come where I needed them, it massively failed. To the point where I'm just shaking my head going, God dang it. All right. Well, you guys, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to email me at theblitzmorningshow@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Blitz Morning. Make sure you give those things a like, a follow, and a little bit of a love. Make sure you tell your friends, family, coworkers, even the bum on the street about us. The more we grow, the more we can do for you. But in the meantime, my name is Toby Brendel. I thank you for tuning in, and I will see you on Wednesday as I pick at your brain with trivia right here on the Blitz Morning Show.